Question 1. What were the main effects of the Norman conquest on the English language and judicial system? A. It introduced Latin as the primary language. B. It had minimal impact on the judicial system. C. It integrated French into the English language and reformed the judicial system. D. It abolished the use of English in legal proceedings. Answer. C. It integrated French into the English language and reformed the judicial system. The Norman conquest led to significant changes, including the introduction of Norman French, which heavily influenced the English language and judicial reforms. Question 2. How did the Magna Carta influence the development of the British parliamentary system? A. It established the first form of parliamentary democracy. B. It limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for the rule of law. C. It introduced the concept of the divine right of kings. D. It centralized royal power more than ever. Answer. B. It limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for the rule of law. The Magna Carta was crucial in limiting royal authority and laying the groundwork for the evolution of parliamentary democracy. Question 3. Describe the social and economic impact of the Black Death on medieval Britain. A. It led to significant population growth. B. It caused labour shortages and led to social upheavals. C. It improved the overall health of the population. D. It had no noticeable impact on society or economy. Answer. B. It caused labour shortages and led to social upheavals. The Black Death significantly reduced the population, which caused labour shortages, leading to major social and economic changes, including better wages for workers and shifts in social structure. Question 4. What role did Britain play in the abolition of the slave trade internationally? A. Britain was primarily opposed to abolition. B. Britain led the charge and was one of the first to abolish the slave trade. C. Britain had no significant role in the abolition movement. D. Britain increased the slave trade in response to international pressure. Answer. B. Britain led the charge and was one of the first to abolish the slave trade. Britain played a leading role in abolishing the slave trade, passing the Slave Trade Act in 1807 and actively enforcing the ban globally. Question 5. How did the Industrial Revolution originate in Britain, and what were its global implications? A. It started in France and had little impact globally. B. It began in Britain, leading to major technological innovations that transformed global economies. C. It was confined to agricultural advancements in Britain. D. It had no significant origins in Britain and did not affect global economies. Answer. B. It began in Britain, leading to major technological innovations that transformed global economies. The Industrial Revolution started in Britain and brought about significant technological advancements that had profound implications on global industrialization and economic development. Question 6. What were the key issues and outcomes of the English Civil War? A. It was mainly about religious freedom with no significant outcomes. B. It centered on royal absolutism versus parliamentary rights, leading to the establishment of a parliamentary monarchy. C. It resulted in the establishment of absolute monarchy. D. It was a minor conflict that led to little change. Answer. B. It centered on royal absolutism versus parliamentary rights, leading to the establishment of a parliamentary monarchy. The English Civil War was a pivotal conflict that centered on the power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament, ultimately leading to the trial and execution of King Charles I and the establishment of parliamentary supremacy. Question 7. Explain the significance of the Battle of Britain in World War II and its impact on British national identity. A. It was a significant naval battle that Britain lost. B. It was an inconsequential air battle with little impact on the war or national identity. C. It was a crucial air battle that demonstrated British resilience and bolstered national pride. D. It led to Britain's immediate surrender in World War II. Answer: C. It was a crucial air battle that demonstrated British resilience and bolstered national pride. The Battle of Britain was a major air campaign fought over the UK in 1940, which resulted in a significant British victory that boosted morale and national identity during a critical phase of World War II. Question 8. What were the main causes and consequences of the Glorious Revolution? A. It was caused by agricultural disputes with no significant consequences. B. It involved the overthrow of King James II, leading to the establishment of constitutional monarchy. C. It resulted in the establishment of the Church of England. D. It led to the temporary abolition of the monarchy. Answer: B. It involved the overthrow of King James II, leading to the establishment of constitutional monarchy. The Glorious Revolution was a pivotal event where James II was overthrown and replaced by William of Orange, leading to the establishment of a constitutional monarchy and laying the groundwork for a modern democratic system. Question 9. Detail the significance of the Acts of Union 1707 in the context of British and Scottish history. A. It resulted in the separation of Scotland from England. B. It unified England and Scotland under the name Great Britain. C. It had no significant impact. D. It led to Scotland establishing its own independent parliament. Answer: B. It unified England and Scotland under the name Great Britain. The Acts of Union 1707 were significant as they politically united England and Scotland under the single sovereign state of Great Britain, which had profound historical, political, and cultural implications for both countries. Question 10. How did the Great Reform Act of 1832 reform British electoral processes? A. It restricted voting rights to a smaller group. B. It introduced universal suffrage. C. It expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractices. D. It abolished the electoral system entirely. Answer: C. It expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractices. The Great Reform Act of 1832 was crucial in expanding the vote to a larger segment of the male population and addressing widespread electoral malpractices, setting the stage for further democratic reforms. Question 11. What were the consequences of the British Empire on its former colonies and the Commonwealth? A. It led to prolonged economic and social instability in former colonies. B. It had no lasting impact on former colonies or the Commonwealth. C. It primarily resulted in the enrichment of the former colonies. D. It facilitated a smooth transition to independence for all colonies. Answer: A. It led to prolonged economic and social instability in former colonies. The legacy of the British Empire in its former colonies and the Commonwealth is complex, with many areas experiencing prolonged periods of economic, social, and political challenges post-independence. Question 12. Discuss the effects of the Victorian era on the social structure of Britain. A. It led to decreased social mobility and stricter class divisions. B. It eliminated the class system entirely. C. It resulted in significant social mobility and the rise of the middle class. D. It had no noticeable impact on social structures. Answer: C. It resulted in significant social mobility and the rise of the middle class. The Victorian era was marked by profound changes in social structure, notably through industrialization and urbanization, which facilitated the growth of the middle class and altered traditional social hierarchies. Question 13. How did World War II alter the British economy and society? A. It had little impact on Britain's economy or societal structures. B. It resulted in significant economic decline and social disintegration. C. It led to economic strengthening and complete societal stability. D. It transformed the economy through wartime production and led to significant social reforms. Answer. D. It transformed the economy through wartime production and led to significant social reforms. World War II had a transformative impact on Britain, catalyzing economic mobilization for war production and prompting significant social reforms, including the foundations of the welfare state. Question 14. What were the ramifications of the Suez Crisis on Britain's international standing? A. It enhanced Britain's global influence. B. It had no effect on Britain's international relations. C. It led to a decline in Britain's global influence and signalled the end of Britain as a superpower. D. It resulted in the expansion of the British Empire. Answer. C. It led to a decline in Britain's global influence and signalled the end of Britain as a superpower. The Suez Crisis of 1956 was a pivotal event that marked a significant decline in Britain's international standing, illustrating the limitations of its post-war power. Question 15. What were the legal and social impacts of the Poor Laws during the Victorian era on British society? A. They eliminated poverty in Britain. B. They provided universal health care and education. C. They institutionalized assistance to the needy, albeit with harsh conditions. D. They had no impact on society. Answer. C. They institutionalized assistance to the needy, albeit with harsh conditions. The Victorian-era Poor Laws were significant as they structured public assistance for the impoverished, but they were often criticized for their punitive measures and workhouse conditions. Question 16. What triggered the formation of the United Nations, and what role did Britain play in it? A. Britain opposed the formation of the United Nations. B. The aftermath of World War II led to its formation, with Britain as a founding member. C. It was formed due to economic reasons, with minimal involvement from Britain. D. It was created to serve British colonial interests. Answer. B. The aftermath of World War II led to its formation, with Britain as a founding member. The United Nations was established in 1945 by 51 countries, including Britain, aiming to promote peace and cooperation internationally after the devastation of World War II. Question 17. Describe the impact of the women's suffrage movement on British politics. A. It had no impact on women's political rights. B. It led to the immediate granting of equal political rights to both men and women. C. It progressively secured voting rights for women through persistent activism. D. It was primarily a social movement with little political focus. Answer. C. It progressively secured voting rights for women through persistent activism. The women's suffrage movement was crucial in Britain, significantly impacting British politics by securing the right to vote for women, first granted to women over 30 in 1918 and expanded in 1928. Question 18. What was the welfare state's development following the Beveridge Report? A. It led to the dismantling of all social welfare programs. B. It proposed expansions in social welfare that were widely ignored. C. It laid the groundwork for the establishment of key welfare state components like the NHS. D. It focused exclusively on military veterans. Answer: C. It laid the groundwork for the establishment of key welfare state components like the NHS. The Beveridge Report of 1942 was instrumental in the post-World War II development of the welfare state in Britain, proposing comprehensive social insurance and public health programs, which led to the establishment of the National Health Service. Question 19. Explain the process and impact of decolonization on the British Empire. A. It involved peaceful transitions in all colonies. B. Decolonization had no significant impact on the empire. C. It led to independence for colonies, but often involved conflict and was economically challenging for Britain. D. It expanded the British Empire further. Answer: C. It led to independence for colonies, but often involved conflict and was economically challenging for Britain. The decolonization process significantly impacted the British Empire throughout the mid-20th century, leading to the independence of various colonies, often after periods of conflict, and marked a significant retraction of British global influence. Question 20. How did the Irish famine affect relations between Ireland and Britain? A. It strengthened the political union between Ireland and Britain. B. It had no effect on Irish-British relations. C. It caused significant strain and resentment towards British policies in Ireland. D. It improved economic relations between the two. Answer: C. It caused significant strain and resentment towards British policies in Ireland. The Irish famine in the mid-19th century had a devastating effect on Ireland and significantly worsened relations between Ireland and Britain, with widespread criticism of British response and government's policies during the famine. Question 21. Discuss the origin and importance of the common law system in the UK. A. Originated from Roman law and is primarily of historical importance. B. Developed from Anglo-Saxon legal practices and forms the basis of the legal system in the UK. C. Introduced by the Normans and is no longer in use. D. Borrowed from the French legal system during the Victorian era. Answer: B. Developed from Anglo-Saxon legal practices and forms the basis of the legal system in the UK. The common law system, characterized by case law and judicial precedent rather than statutory laws, is a foundational aspect of the legal system in the UK and has influenced many other legal systems worldwide. Question 22. What was the impact of the Enlightenment in Britain, particularly in philosophy and economics? A. It led to a decline in scientific and philosophical inquiry. B. It had minimal impact on British thought and global influence. C. It fostered advances in democratic thought and economic theory, influencing global intellectual developments. D. It focused only on religious reforms. Answer: C. It fostered advances in democratic thought and economic theory, influencing global intellectual developments. The Enlightenment period was significant in Britain, encouraging progress in philosophy and economics that contributed to modern democratic and economic theories. Question 23. Describe the changes brought about by the Great Fire of London on urban planning. A. It led to stricter building regulations and the development of modern fire brigades. B. It had no significant impact on urban planning. C. It discouraged future development in London. D. It resulted in the abandonment of the city centre. Answer: A. It led to stricter building regulations and the development of modern fire brigades. The Great Fire of London in 1666 prompted significant changes in building materials and urban planning to prevent future disasters, influencing modern urban development. Question 24. How did the Elizabethan era influence modern British culture and politics? A. It isolated Britain from continental Europe culturally and politically. B. It was characterized by significant artistic and literary achievements that continue to influence British culture. C. It had no lasting impact on culture or politics. D. It was primarily known for economic downturns. Answer. B. It was characterized by significant artistic and literary achievements that continue to influence British culture. The Elizabethan era is celebrated for its contributions to the arts, notably Shakespeare's works, and its enduring influence on British cultural identity. Question 25. What role did Britain have in the development of the Internet? A. Britain was mainly a consumer of Internet technology developed elsewhere. B. British scientists were pivotal in laying the foundational technologies for the Internet. C. It played a minor role limited to military applications. D. It opposed the development of Internet technologies. Answer. B. British scientists were pivotal in laying the foundational technologies for the Internet. Notably, British computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, significantly shaping the Internet's development. Question 26. Explain the significance of the Good Friday Agreement in the context of Northern Ireland. A. It was a minor legal adjustment with little impact on the peace process. B. It ended the open conflict known as the Troubles, establishing a power-sharing agreement. C. It involved the unification of Ireland. D. It solely addressed economic issues. Answer. B. It ended the open conflict known as the Troubles, establishing a power-sharing agreement. The Good Friday Agreement, signed in 1998, was crucial in bringing an end to decades of conflict in Northern Ireland and setting up a framework for political stability. Question 27. Detail the influence of the British monarch during the constitutional crisis of the 20th century. A. The monarch had absolute power and made all governmental decisions. B. The monarch's role was largely symbolic, with significant influence limited to ceremonial duties. C. The monarch directly governed the colonies. D. The monarchy was abolished during the 20th century. Answer. B. The monarch's role was largely symbolic, with significant influence limited to ceremonial duties. During the constitutional crisis of the 20th century, the British monarch played a primarily symbolic role, embodying continuity and tradition, while political power was exercised by Parliament. Question 28. Discuss the role and reform of the House of Lords over the 20th century. A. It gained more power, becoming the primary legislative body. B. It remained unchanged throughout the century. C. Reforms reduced its legislative powers, transitioning towards a more ceremonial role. D. It was completely dissolved in the mid-20th century. Answer. C. Reforms reduced its legislative powers, transitioning towards a more ceremonial role. The 20th century saw significant reforms of the House of Lords, notably reducing its absolute veto power and modifying its composition to include life peers, making it less politically potent. Question 29. What are the implications of Brexit on the UK's international relations and internal politics? A. Brexit led to stronger ties with the European Union. B. It resulted in increased political unity within the UK. C. Brexit has reshaped the UK's trade relationships and created political tensions within the UK. D. There were no significant implications of Brexit. Answer C. Brexit has reshaped the UK's trade relationships and created political tensions within the UK. The decision to leave the European Union has led to ongoing adjustments in international relations and trade, as well as significant domestic political debates, particularly concerning issues of national unity and regional autonomy. Question 30. How did the English Bill of Rights of 1689 shape the relationship between the Crown and Parliament? A. It confirmed the absolute power of the Crown over Parliament. B. It delineated the rights of individuals over the government. C. It reinforced the power of Parliament over the monarchy, setting the stage for modern democracy. D. It had no impact on the relationship. Answer C. It reinforced the power of Parliament over the monarchy, setting the stage for modern democracy. The English Bill of Rights of 1689 was instrumental in limiting the powers of the monarchy and affirming the supremacy of Parliament, a fundamental shift that influenced the development of constitutional monarchy in Britain. Question 31. Discuss the significance of the Corn Laws in the 19th century and their impact on British society. A. They led to the expansion of the British Empire. B. They were pivotal in advancing industrialization by protecting agricultural interests and causing widespread economic debates. C. They introduced free healthcare. D. They had no impact on society or the economy. Answer B. They were pivotal in advancing industrialization by protecting agricultural interests and causing widespread economic debates. The Corn Laws were controversial trade laws that imposed tariffs on imported grain, leading to debates about free trade and protectionism, which played a central role in economic and political discussions of the time. Question 32. How did the Jacobite Rebellions affect British politics and identity? A. They had little impact and were quickly forgotten. B. They strengthened the power of the Jacobites in Parliament. C. They contributed to the solidification of the Hanoverian dynasty and highlighted religious and national divides. D. They led to the establishment of a republic. Answer C. They contributed to the solidification of the Hanoverian dynasty and highlighted religious and national divides. The Jacobite rebellions were significant for their impact on British politics and national identity, cementing the power of the Hanoverian line and exacerbating regional and religious tensions. Question 33. What is the significance of the Stonehenge and its preservation? A. It is a modern sculpture with minimal historical importance. B. It represents early 20th century architecture. C. It is a prehistoric monument of significant archaeological and cultural importance, symbolizing early human ingenuity. D. It serves as a major shopping district. Answer C. It is a prehistoric monument of significant archaeological and cultural importance, symbolizing early human ingenuity. Stonehenge is one of the most famous prehistoric structures in the world, and its preservation helps to maintain a connection to the ancient past and contributes to our understanding of early human societies. Question 34. Explain the development and impact of the British railways on economic growth. A. They led to decreased mobility and economic stagnation. B. They played a crucial role in facilitating industrialization and economic integration across Britain. C. They were primarily used for recreational purposes. D. They were not developed until the late 20th century. Answer B. They played a crucial role in facilitating industrialization and economic integration across Britain. The development of the British railways was pivotal in the 19th century, supporting the Industrial Revolution by improving transport of goods and people across the country, which significantly contributed to economic growth. Question 35. What was the role of the British media in shaping public opinion during the Falklands War? A. The media was neutral and had no influence on public opinion. B. British media played a significant role in rallying national support and influencing public perception of the war. C. It focused on opposing the war effort. D. The media was banned from reporting on the war. Answer. B. British media played a significant role in rallying national support and influencing public perception of the war. During the Falklands War, the media was instrumental in shaping public opinion, often presenting a patriotic narrative that supported the government's military objectives. Question 36. How have immigration patterns since 1945 changed British society? A. They have led to a less diverse society. B. Immigration has had no impact on British society. C. Immigration has significantly increased cultural diversity and influenced social policies. D. Immigration was completely halted after 1945. Answer. C. Immigration has significantly increased cultural diversity and influenced social policies. Since 1945, immigration has profoundly impacted British society, enriching cultural diversity and affecting various aspects of social policy and public life. Question 37. Discuss the historical significance of the Battle of Hastings in 1066. A. It was an inconsequential skirmish within English borders. B. It resulted in the Norman conquest of England, fundamentally changing the political and cultural landscape. C. It marked the end of British involvement in European affairs. D. It was primarily a cultural event with no political consequences. Answer. B. It resulted in the Norman conquest of England, fundamentally changing the political and cultural landscape. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 was a defining moment that led to Norman control over England, with profound and lasting impacts on the language, culture, and governance of England. Question 38. What were the main reasons and outcomes of the formation of the United Kingdom? A. The main reason was economic convenience, with no significant outcomes. B. It was formed to compete with French military power, leading to frequent wars. C. It united England, Scotland, Wales, and later Northern Ireland under a single sovereign, strengthening internal cohesion and international presence. D. It was formed accidentally with minimal planning. Answer. C. It united England, Scotland, Wales, and later Northern Ireland under a single sovereign, strengthening internal cohesion and international presence. The formation of the United Kingdom brought together different nations under a single political entity, enhancing stability and creating a unified identity that bolstered its role on the international stage. Question 39. Describe the role of Britain in the global spread of sports such as football, cricket, and rugby. A. Britain had a minor role limited to local development. B. Britain is recognized as the birthplace of these sports, playing a central role in their international spread and the establishment of standardized rules. C. These sports were imported from the United States and had little impact in Britain. D. Britain opposed the spread of these sports. Answer. B. Britain is recognized as the birthplace of these sports, playing a central role in their international spread and the establishment of standardized rules. Britain was instrumental in the development and international popularization of football, cricket, and rugby, significantly influencing global sports culture. Question 40. What are the effects of the Scottish Enlightenment on modern economic and philosophical thought? A. It led to the decline of philosophical and economic innovation. B. It had a profound impact, contributing to the development of modern economics and moral philosophy. C. It isolated Scotland culturally and intellectually. D. It was restricted to minor literary works. Answer: B. It had a profound impact, contributing to the development of modern economics and moral philosophy. The Scottish Enlightenment was a period of intense intellectual activity in Scotland that had lasting impacts on economic theory and philosophy, influencing figures such as Adam Smith and David Hume. Question 41. How has the concept of the British dream evolved in the 21st century? A. It has become synonymous with economic decline. B. It emphasizes multiculturalism and social mobility. C. It focuses solely on historical achievements. D. It has been abandoned in favor of American cultural ideals. Answer: B. It emphasizes multiculturalism and social mobility. The concept of the British dream in the 21st century has evolved to highlight the opportunities for multicultural integration and social mobility within the UK, reflecting the diverse and dynamic nature of modern British society. Question 42. Discuss the impact of Margaret Thatcher's economic policies on the British economy of the 1980s. A. They led to immediate financial collapse. B. They are credited with significant economic growth and increased market liberalisation. C. They had no noticeable impact on the economy. D. They focused primarily on agricultural reforms. Answer: B. They are credited with significant economic growth and increased market liberalisation. Margaret Thatcher's economic policies, known as Thatcherism, included reducing state intervention, privatizing state-owned industries, and deregulating the economy, which significantly shaped the economic landscape of the 1980s. Question 43. What are the origins and significance of the Notting Hill Carnival in London? A. It originated as a royal festival in the 18th century. B. It began in the 1960s as a way to celebrate Caribbean culture and foster community cohesion. C. It was created in the 1990s as a commercial event. D. It has no cultural significance and is purely a tourist attraction. Answer: B. It began in the 1960s as a way to celebrate Caribbean culture and foster community cohesion. The Notting Hill Carnival is an important cultural event in London, celebrating Caribbean culture and traditions, and is significant for its role in promoting multiculturalism and community ties. Question 44. How did the two world wars shape the development of the British welfare state? A. The wars had no impact on welfare state development. B. They led to a decrease in social welfare initiatives. C. The need to support war efforts and post-war recovery accelerated the development of social welfare policies. D. They focused solely on military and defense spending. Answer: C. The need to support war efforts and post-war recovery accelerated the development of social welfare policies. The experiences of the world wars highlighted the need for comprehensive social support systems, leading to significant developments in the British welfare state, including the establishment of the NHS and expansion of social security. Question 45. Describe the contributions of British scientists to the development of vaccines and antibiotics. A. British scientists played no role in these developments. B. They made foundational contributions, including the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming. C. They only contributed in the 21st century. D. Their contributions were limited to alternative medicine. Answer B. They made foundational contributions, including the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming. British scientists have been at the forefront of medical advancements, with significant contributions such as Fleming's discovery of penicillin, which has had a profound global impact on treating bacterial infections. Question 46. What historical events led to the establishment of the English Premier League? A. It was established following a royal decree in the 19th century. B. It was formed in 1992 to enhance the commercial appeal of English football. C. It resulted from a merger of various European football leagues. D. It developed as part of the UK's educational reforms. Answer B. It was formed in 1992 to enhance the commercial appeal of English football. The English Premier League was established to improve the quality and global competitiveness of English football, becoming one of the most popular and financially successful football leagues worldwide. Question 47. How did the Beveridge Report of 1942 propose to address social inequalities in Britain? A. By recommending the abolition of all social welfare programs. B. Through comprehensive social insurance and welfare reforms to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. C. It focused only on increasing military spending. D. The report suggested minimal changes, focusing on tax increases. Answer B. Through comprehensive social insurance and welfare reforms to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. The Beveridge Report was instrumental in laying the groundwork for the modern British welfare state, proposing extensive reforms to address various forms of social inequality. Question 48. What were the causes and effects of the miners' strikes in the 1980s on British politics? A. They had no impact on politics and were purely economic disputes. B. The strikes were a response to economic policies and led to significant political and social tensions. C. They resulted in the strengthening of the mining industry. D. The strikes focused on environmental issues only. Answer B. The strikes were a response to economic policies and led to significant political and social tensions. The miners' strikes in the 1980s were among the most significant labour conflicts in British history, highlighting deep divisions over economic policies and leading to lasting changes in British industrial relations and labour laws. Question 49. Discuss the significance of the Chartist movement in the reform of British democracy. A. It was a minor artistic movement with limited political impact. B. The movement was pivotal in advocating for electoral reforms and expanding the franchise in the 19th century. C. It focused on agricultural reforms. D. The Chartist movement primarily promoted educational reforms. Answer B. The movement was pivotal in advocating for electoral reforms and expanding the franchise in the 19th century. The Chartist movement was crucial in the development of British democracy, advocating for the rights of working-class men to vote and pushing for broader electoral reforms. Question 50. Explain the historical importance of the swinging Sixties in London on global cultural trends. A. The period was marked by economic depression with little cultural impact. B. It was an influential era characterized by groundbreaking developments in music, fashion, and the arts. C. The Sixties in London were isolated from global cultural movements. D. The era focused solely on technological advancements. Answer B. It was an influential era characterized by groundbreaking developments in music, fashion, and the arts. The swinging Sixties in London were a defining moment in 20th century culture, with significant influences on global music, fashion, and youth culture, epitomized by figures like the Beatles and fashion icons like Mary Quant.